The following podcast has been rated Listener MA. It contains strong language, violence, adult situations, nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Unfiltered Sportscast. I'm your host. My name is Scotty Gurman, and I've got two excellent stand-up comedians to my left. First, I've got the 1984 Kingman County T-Ball Defensive Player of the Year award winner, Mr. Jeremy Joseph.
Nice, Scotty. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, buddy. Happy to have you, too. And the wreck, Mr. Derek Alders.
Good day, Scotty.
Good day. I'm exhausted.
Yeah?
I'm emotionally drained, physically drained, mentally drained.
Were you just as swept up in baseball as I was this weekend?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I was just swept up in that like crazy.
I know. Hey, have I ever told you you're a dick?
Yes, on my birthday card.
Oh, that's okay. That's true.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you let me read the eulogy you wrote for me, and it's in there too.
Yeah, your Cubs swept my fucking Cardinals.
I do want to make one quick announcement, I guess I would say. I guess I got a lot of emails and voicemails about the joke I made about boxing my wife last week. Like, it was a joke. We didn't like literally box. I didn't literally punch my wife. I do want to reach out and say thank you to the Kansas City Chiefs and Dallas Cowboys for the generous contract offer. However, I have not thrown a football since 1998, and that was a nerf. So I appreciate it. But I can't do that.
Well, good. I'm glad you cleared that up. Buddy.
Yeah, I just want to clear the air there.
Anything else happen over the week? Not sports
Oh, because
related?
they beat up women and children. I get it.
Yeah.
I get jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anybody else have anything over the weekend that was fun? Talk about it all?
No.
You guys are fucking worthless.
No, I got a fridge and a deep freeze, I guess.
Hey, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Sweet.
Yeah, that happened.
Put all your meat?
Put all my beer in. I still put my meat in you, Scotty. So
Boy, talk about burying the fucking lead, dude. God damn. Two appliances. Major appliances
yeah.
at that.
What fucking dishwasher now, Jeremy Joseph?
God damn it. I feel so pathetic.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm happy for your deep freeze. Jeremy, anything at all?
Nope.
Gosh.
No, I lead a pretty uneventful life. Mostly just getting that basement debacle lined up.
Making some progress?
We got the carpet is back down with the new pad under it. It's so squishy.
Yeah.
Now they got to come in and professionally clean it, and then the
Spectacular.
new furniture should be coming in. So,
Fancy.
God damn, that's exciting shit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's excellent shit.
There's nothing that you look
Nothing
more
but
forward
shit.
to than brand new furniture for a room you don't use.
Right?
This is a guest room.
Right.
And I don't even get to enjoy this shit, but I get to enjoy paying for it.
Yeah, there you go. That's always
That's
fun.
a lot of fun.
I hate it. I'm with you there, buddy. Anyways,
Why do you hate my furniture?
because I'm never going to use it unless I get really drunk over at your house one night.
You got to be invited to his house
Yeah,
first.
you still
No,
won't
I
be
can break
welcome.
in. I can cause more damage
Oh,
like you
I
did
wouldn't
the first
suggest that. We've got a wiener dog at the house.
They are very ferocious.
They are.
Will,
That ain't no joke.
he doesn't really have teeth anymore. He'll
Not
gum
since
the
the
fuck
peanut
out of
butter.
me.
Not since the peanut butter
Yeah,
incident.
not since he chose to drag him that time. I just knocked him right out of his mouth.
yeah, it feels better now.
If you ever punch a dachshund, there's no more cathartic feeling in the world.
I can hear your phone vibrating. It's probably the Kansas City Chiefs or the
Oh,
Cowboys.
they don't punch dogs. They're not that good.
I'm sorry, that would be the Atlanta Falcons.
Sure.
Yes,
yeah.
there you go.
There you go. Okay, all right. So we had the NBA Finals. Was it? Yeah, it was
We're still having the NBA
Monday
Finals.
night. Yeah, well, I'm saying game 5 was Monday night. Warriors won that one. We did not get we didn't get to talk about game 3 and 4, right? Because we
We did a little bit. a lot.
We predicted what was going to happen in Game 3 and 4, and are we going to bring out the Litsky for Derek again?
No, there was no bet.
Are you sure?
I'm as positive as Magic
I'm
Johnson.
pretty sure you said Golden State in 5, and
I said no
Jeremy.
bet. One said 7 and one said 6.
No, we both said 6. Golden State in 6, which we lost as well.
Yeah, we're all out of it.
Yeah.
I think because I personally don't see Golden State winning this series the way things are going right now.
I don't know, with Durant gone.
With Durant gone, which I do want to point out. We shared the video of Kevin Durant, the actual injury. You can actually see his calf pop, explode, which normally to me is extremely disgusting.
That's some Looney Tune shit.
Yeah. But I don't know who I'm more mad at. If I'm more mad at the doctors that allowed him to play, or if I'm more mad at Kevin Durant for being so goddamn headstrong and choosing to play, or Steve Kerr for playing him as much. Because if you watch the last game, right after he came out, he was icing that shit pretty hard. So it was already getting a little bit sore. And he only played like 11 minutes, and it was only the first quarter. He went out in the first. Mm-hmm. So, and granted, when he was in there, maybe I'm mixing him up, but he scored like 11 points. He was perfect from the 3-point line, and he was going to be a big, huge factor. The Raptors were staying close to him, but it looked like, all right, this is a just crazy difficult team. Mm-hmm. And then you see Durant go down, and then Raptors fans were cheering, which that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, the only time you cheer when a player goes down is if it's Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
That's it.
Well,
LeBron James.
Yeah,
LeBron James. You know, I could think of a lot of players. But in all seriousness, even Drake was pissed. He was fucking furious. And I get why. He wants,
full strength Warriors.
He wants
team.
a full strength Warriors team, which I agree with him. I think you want that. You want an NBA Finals with everybody healthy, playing at the best of their abilities, and whoever's the best team is going to win. But I'm with Jeremy on this. I think unfortunately this particular time the best team may not be the grittiest team, the team that grinds, the team that is eventually going to come out and get this NBA Finals. I just really don't. You had somebody, and granted, I'm a fan. I got my new jersey. I'm very proud of this new jersey.
The jersey is terrible.
This jersey is awesome. Fred VanVleet jersey. It's the North jersey, which neither of you two fuckers, I guess, could understand.
No.
But
is he from Winterfell? Is that what's going on there?
Yes.
Okay,
give me some Game of Thrones references.
That's a Game of Thrones reference.
But because Derek don't know shit about that.
He don't.
I thought that was in Canada.
It is in Canada, the North, and that's where Toronto is, Canada.
Winterfell's in Canada.
Winterfell is in Canada.
Probably filmed in Canada, most likely, Alaska or some other cold.
It's probably not a real town.
No, it's not. But nonetheless,
because they would have their own. They'd be like the Winterfell Dragons. And
no, they're the wolves.
Wolves.
Isn't that right?
Well, they've only got like, what is it? Maybe like 200 people that live there.
Yeah, something like that.
So they wouldn't have enough to be able to support a team.
Yeah,
wouldn't be a very good team either.
Right, exactly.
No.
So Fred in Game 4 after the Raptors were up. At this point I don't remember.
Getting a little wordy here, Scott.
Sorry, my bad. I'm a little tired. Gets decked in the face on an elbow, and it was completely accidental. It wasn't anything maniacal or anything like that.
That's what I always tell the police when they ask me, and they take my wife on one side of the street and me on the other side of the street. And I'm like, we were playing some hoops. It was just purely incidental.
Sure.
And I called her a bitch, and I accidentally elbowed her. Just a little trash talk.
Because there's always enough time between when the police get there and when it actually happened that you can say, whatever happened, I'm going to get out.
Right.
That's right.
And so, yeah, that's
right. The tire iron that was thrown at her was it was a defensive measure. I thought there was a cat in the bushes that was making a lot of noise, and
turns out she was that cat.
Well, and Derek's wife plays tremendous defense.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
She's known for defense.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, but Fred gets hurt. He gets out of the game. He's bleeding from his cheekbone all the way down, and he's just laying there. And
lost 2 teeth, right?
A third of one, I thought.
Yeah, he chipped one.
Oh, I thought a couple came out.
One came out and was on the floor.
Does he just look toothless?
Yeah,
well, he lived in
bit.
Kansas for a little while.
That is true.
Exactly.
You're
Right.
not allowed to leave here with all your teeth.
Right. And it was a great game to watch. And the the Raptors ended up winning that game. They have won 3 straight since last night, and I was really pumped, hoping that they would win it in Toronto last night, but ended up not the case. And it was a great game to watch. I mean, Warriors ended up winning by 1.
They tried to give that damn game away too.
They did.
They fucking really did.
Everything that I saw of it was the Raptors were trying to chase them down the whole damn
The
game.
whole game.
They'd get them within 4 or 5 points, and then it'd get extended back out to a 12-point lead. And yeah, it was pretty clear that the Warriors were playing the better basketball for most of the game. But still, that's what I've been saying about the Raptors since I started watching this series, is that they are scrappy. They're pests. They don't go away.
Right.
And they take advantage of every opportunity that they can get.
Right, and they ended up taking the lead. They ended up going up by 6 with about 2 minutes left to go in the game, and then enter Steph fucking Curry. Steph fucking Curry, and he did.
That's his actual middle name.
Yep, that is his actual middle name.
Stephon F. Curry.
Yep, right. He comes out.
He's related to Bucky Dent, right?
Bucky fucking Dent. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Ends up hitting a couple big shots. One very big one to take the lead. And the Raptors just couldn't catch a break. We ended up,
They caught all the breaks. They just couldn't capitalize.
Well, yeah, they couldn't capitalize. That's a good point. Because
two DeMarcus Cousins fuck ups and the Draymond Green with the backcourt, the moving screen.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think somebody like Fred should have probably taken that shot. I think he was a little bit more open whenever he was trying to penetrate and dish out to Lowry. And everybody's giving shit. Yeah, of course, penetrate. Nice joke.
You made it.
And Lowry was somewhat open over in the corner, but I think Fred was more open. Kawhi was getting basically just suffocated.
That's
by
who
defense.
was probably supposed to take that
Most
shot.
likely. Get the ball to Fred. Fred was an outlet pass. Get it out to him. They get it over to Kawhi, or not to Kawhi, to Lowry. And everybody's giving him shit by how bad he missed that shot. It was tipped. It was
the tip bullshit again. Here we go again.
Well, that's exactly what happened with Cody Parkey. It was tipped.
It was not tipped.
It just didn't make any difference.
Yeah. Right, exactly. He
was
shanked the shit out of it.
It hit a mosquito on the way up.
But it was a very, very fun game to watch. I enjoyed myself watching it, and they go now back to Oakland and see what happens without KD. But the one thing I wanted to point out, and this is my prediction here, I think Toronto wins it on, I think, Thursday, I believe. Yeah, Thursday is the
you think
game 6.
At Golden State?
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's why. Of those players, obviously we said Durant scored, I think, 11, if I remember correctly. Curry had 31, and Klay Thompson had 26. Mm-hmm. That's a majority of your points. Also, a majority of their points were scored from the 3-point line.
That's always so.
I get it. But if they figure out a way to get them to spread the ball around and not allow Kyle Lowry to score as much or Curry to score as much, which I'm giving up on Curry. Curry played excellent. He's going to get his. But try to suppress Klay Thompson as much as you possibly can. Now you don't have KD to worry about. It's not going to be a spread of an offense because whenever KD was out there, the Raptors were hanging with them, but the Raptors didn't shoot very well from 3-point line. They just didn't. They missed a lot of opportunities that they have, and in my opinion, they really should have won that game if they would have made a couple more big shots. Danny Green played like shit. He had his game the game before, but he just didn't play very well. He couldn't defend, Steph Curry, like I said the previous episode. And you had Gasol had an excellent game. I mean, look at the numbers that the Raptors scored this last game that they lost. Leonard had 26. Ibaka had 15. Siakam had 12. Freddie had 11. Gasol had 17. Lowry had 18. You see how much more spread out the love is? And that is what I think it's gonna take to win this ball game. If you DM up just enough, make a couple more buckets, you're gonna win the game.
I hope it goes 7. I'd like to see it go 7.
I would not mind it to go 7 as long as the Raptors win, because I'm pulling for the Raptors at this point.
I'm still going for the Warriors.
I know you are with your fucking gay ass Warrior hat and everything like that. But
For those of us just now tuning in, welcome back to the Scotty Gurman Show. Scotty's been talking for the last 28 minutes straight.
my bad. I'm pumped. I
don't
really
I don't
to.
want you to feel bad about this, but you ruined this show.
I'm so sorry.
And I don't mean this episode. I mean total, overall. You've ruined this show.
Yeah, that's
people
about
hear
right.
your voice and they throw themselves off bridges.
Yeah, there's a little bit of validity to that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay.
Mostly with all the body
right.
count.
Okay. All right. Well,
So I just wanted to get that out there.
Thanks, Jeremy.
That's my constructive criticism. You take it however you want.
thanks, asshole.
But you ruin everything with your talking.
Whatever. Anyways,
That's all I'm saying.
That's why he doesn't have kids.
all right. So predictions,
Yeah.
games 6 and 7. Do you want it to go 7? Do you think it'll actually go 7?
I think it will. It's going to be tough to win in Golden State. I don't think Golden
Yeah.
State's going home or is leaving their own arena.
Winless in this series too.
No, I don't. I think Golden State's going to get one.
Yeah. What about you,
least.
Jeremy?
Oh, I don't think Golden State wins the next one.
You don't either.
Yeah.
Okay.
My biggest thing though is even if Toronto does wind up winning this, they're still in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's like putting a Band-Aid on an axe wound. Really? You're not really helping much. Yeah, we got a championship, but fuck, look around you. You're in Canada.
I don't know. I really do think the Raptors win in 6, and I'm gonna be pumped for Fred, yeah, that's all I got there. The other thing we want to discuss, and I don't want to go too far into it unless you guys do, but moving on from the NBA, I want to go into the news, unfortunately, about David Ortiz. That happened not much longer after we got done with the show. I believe it was Wednesday, if I remember correctly, when it happened. I could be wrong.
That happened
I think
Sunday.
it just happened over the weekend.
Happened
Oh, that was
Sunday.
the weekend. Okay.
Yeah, it happened Sunday.
That's my fault. But David Ortiz gets shot in the back while he was visiting home.
Back or abdomen, somewhere like right in there.
He was shot in the back, and it went through his back into his abdomen and did a lot of damage to his intestines and his liver. And so he is now
here.
He's now been flown back to Boston,
and he's had a second surgery.
and he's had a second surgery. So I don't know all of the details of the shooting. I just saw the video of the shooting, which there's a lot of speculation about. Was he a target?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
This should be a lesson to everybody not to smack your lips when you eat, because this is what happens. I guarantee you, just from looking at him, he's a lip smacker.
Oh,
Big
God.
Papi is, and that'll drive anybody nuts. And there are people in this world who will shoot you for that, and I'm not so sure that they're wrong for doing it.
My wife's definitely one of them.
See, to me, I would say the 2 lessons that you take from this are, number 1, don't go to the Dominican fucking Republic.
Yeah.
And number 2,
You got out once.
Yeah.
What the
yeah,
fuck?
baseball was your ticket
You are-
out.
you are
Why do you want
tempting
back
fate.
in?
Yeah.
And number 2, don't have the name Big and Pop anything. Like Big Papa got shot, right? Notorious B.I.G. Big Papi got shot. If Greg Popovich starts going by Big Popovich, look the fuck out. All right?
Yeah. But I mean, we've all seen the video. We watched a little bit of the evidence, and Jeremy made a good point. We all think that he had to have been some kind of a target for whatever reason. There's some speculation about if he was sleeping with somebody in the drug cartel's wife or some shit. That's a rumor I've heard. Don't know if it's true. Don't really care. I'm still a little bit pissed about this. But me and you both were thinking the same thing whenever he got shot. It's just like, okay, why was he shot in the back and in the abdomen?
Yeah.
Why wasn't a headshot? And you and I both said, well, maybe he's trying to send a message. But Jeremy was talking about, well, maybe he was, maybe it was a shitty pistol, or maybe it was a shitty gun, or something along those lines.
Okay, handguns are much more difficult than people realize to shoot accurately. Number one, especially in the heat of the moment like that,
Sure.
when you're trying to rush it, because he wanted to take the shot and get out. But for anybody who's actually studied assassinations, which I have,
That's terrible.
Headshots, if you've ever had any self-defense training or any kind of firearms training, headshots are the worst to take. Heads are small, heads move around. That's not the target.
Chest.
Center mass is where you go for. Heart most people think that the heart is on the left side of the body. It's actually right in the center with kind of more of a protruding lobe to the left side.
Right.
So if you shoot somebody right dead in the middle of the back, it's going to get the heart and the lungs. That's a for sure kill shot. But it doesn't take much of a flinch with the pistol or misaiming to go down into the kidneys. And the kidneys are actually much higher up on the back than most people think. They think they're on the belt line. They're actually up behind the rib cage.
Right.
So, he probably didn't miss by as much as what we think.
Yeah.
But, that's a difficult thing to do. But, my whole theory that I've developed over it, Big Papi is one of those guys who wants to give back to his community. And he's got a lot of money. He comes in, he's wanting to help people out. He's wanting to build, kind of gentrify the area and shit like that. Dominican Republic has a lot of crime, drug crime and shit like that.
Right.
People coming in trying to make the neighborhood a better place is always bad for crime. I think that this is most likely why he was targeted.
Possibly.
Because that wasn't just a random shooting into a crowd. A man walked up, took aim on him.
He's sitting
and
at the
fired.
table, yeah.
He was sitting
Pow.
it was, what's his
table.
name? God damn it. Wild Bill style.
Yeah.
Just fucking
Wild
shot
Bill
him.
Hickok.
Yeah. Shot him right in the fucking back.
If he was holding an ace and an 8 in his hand, that'd be real crazy.
Pair of each.
Terrible.
That was-
But,
No,
yeah.
he was sitting there. I guarantee that is my theory. Smacking his lips, bad for crime.
No. Well, it's kind of a whole bad ordeal. I'm glad that he's home. I like the fact how a lot of people are coming together over this whole ordeal. We know he's probably going to be okay.
He was probably one of the most respected players.
Absolutely.
Of his era.
Everything that he did for the Boston Marathon bombing and stuff like that.
He's the Rivera of the Red Sox.
Yeah,
Rivera
that's a
was
good
probably
way of
the most
putting it.
respected
Sure.
Yankee, and I think even Yankee fans could respect Ortiz.
Absolutely.
He did get caught toward the end of his career. He failed a PED test, and that to me that puts a little bit of a tarnish on his career because
He was
who knows
40.
how long he'd been. But who knows how long he'd been doing it?
Sure.
But still, maybe the best clutch hitter I've ever seen.
Yeah.
When it comes to situational shit, I don't think there's anybody that you'd rather have at the plate than him. Maybe not now, but back then when he played in his prime, he was he came through. Pressure didn't get to him.
I think he single-handedly beat the Cardinals in the World Series. Not the first time that they won the World Series, whenever they swept the shit out of the Cardinals, but the second time they did. I think
Swept them both times.
Yeah, I know. Not the first time that they swept them. Thank you, Derek. Prick.
They got swept again this weekend, too.
Shut up. Anyway, the second time he was like the single-handed person that just absolutely slaughtered him. I think he ended up hitting in that postseason something over 500, if I remember right.
They do not beat the Yankees in 05.
Without Papi.
That was 04.
04,
right.
Well, they don't beat them in 05 either.
They don't beat him ever without Papi. So for what it's worth, we hope Papi does well, makes a full recovery, and then gets the opportunity to beat the ever-living shit out of the guy that shot him. Because
Did they catch him?
Oh, somebody already did.
Because somebody already did.
That's how beloved the man is. Because even though this guy had a gun,
crowd.
They figured out Big Papi had been shot. They figured out who did it, and the crowd more or less just
beat the shit.
I don't
out
want
of
to say gang raped him. There might have been some penetration, as Scotty likes to put it, but they sure kicked the shit out of him, and he's really fucked up in the hospital.
He has multiple contusions.
Thoughts and prayers to that guy.
That he lives so Papi can beat the shit out of him.
They should put him in the same room.
That would be fucking. Oh, I don't know. Papi would probably get up eventually and just beat the fucking crap.
I think
out
they
of him.
should make this guy pitch to Papi. That's just embarrassing.
I don't know.
Because I bet he pitches worse than he shoots.
Right. That was the baseball news. Derek called a trade this
Trade.
last show. Yeah,
Not a trade.
or
Just
a sign,
Yeah,
whatever.
Kimbrel to the Cubs.
Yeah, you flat out called it 24 hours later.
Yeah.
From like verbatim, what you said was exactly what happened.
Yeah, that would have been stupid not to.
Right.
I mean, it was exactly the shot in the arm they needed. Now, if Morrow comes back, it's a 6-inning game. I mean, and really with as old as the Cubs starters are getting, minus Hendricks and Quintana, 6 innings is if you can get to the 7th with Strope and then Morrow in the 8th and then Kimbrel in the 9th. That's pretty fucking tough to beat.
Right.
So, and they've got the offense to do it.
Right. Yeah, you're correct. I mean, it wasn't a fucking, I was going to say spoof, but that's not what I was thinking of. It wasn't, I was kind of expecting that we would lose 2 out of 3 to the Cubs. But I'm an idiot and I have some kind of love for my Cardinals, but we look like shit.
Mm-hmm. You're under 500 now.
We are awful. We are awful right now, and I don't understand why.
Hashtag I told you so.
Shut up.
Here's the thing, is that baseball, for all of its flaws, baseball almost always works out the way it should. There's a reason that there's 162 games.
Yeah.
It is a game of ebbs and flows, hot streaks, cold streaks. Mm-hmm. I mean, in the end, the teams that should have the best record usually do.
You know what? And that's actually a good point.
It's a great point.
It is a great point.
But it's also the team going in that's the hottest because a lot of wild card teams have won the
Sure,
World Series.
That's
absolutely.
true. Cardinals in 06.
Yeah, postseason is its own separate season where a lot of, whatever's happened before doesn't really count for shit.
Right.
But when you factor a lot of the shit, batting averages, win-loss, I mean, most of that shit, it almost always evens out the way it should after 162 games.
Mm-hmm. So I talked to a few listeners of the show, and
are they going to listen still, or are they still going to listen? Or are they done?
By a few, you mean all of them? Or?
No, I talked to quite a few people that love the show. Yeah, Nick Foles, he's a good dude, man.
Yeah, he is.
But I talked to a lot of folks that actually listen to the show on a regular basis and that are not baseball fans, and they are able to listen to us talk about it, which thank you to them. But a lot of the feedback that I have when they're not baseball fans, they complain of how long the season is, how long the game is, all of these other factors that you and I and Jeremy know
that we relish.
Exactly. Every single game is worth something. So, to their point, what do you say to somebody? I wish the game. I wish this season was like an NBA season. Let's say it was
82 games.
Yeah, something like that. What do you think about the?
Look at the turnaround.
The question.
Look at the turnaround. Look at the turnaround from the All-Star break in the end, or from baseball, the NBA. Usually it's a team of 2 halves, or it's a game of 2 halves almost.
Right.
Because at the trade deadline after the break, there's teams that improve. There's teams that go on a fucking tear the last month and a half.
Oh dear God!
And make
Cardinals.
the playoffs. And there's teams that have been right at the top of that division that just skid. Look at the Cubs last year. The Cubs had a huge lead in the Central.
Yep.
Pissed it away and ended up with a play-in game at home for the division. Lost it and then lost the wild card game.
Right.
I would encourage anybody, if you have the ability and it takes some dedication, but pick a team that you can watch on TV every game and try to follow them every game. And it seems like over 162 games, 1 win or 1 loss doesn't usually count for much, but it's a game of streaks, like I was saying.
Right.
And it's amazing how so often you can pinpoint a winning streak or a losing streak to one game or to one bad fucking play. You can see where a closer who had been just cruising all season long blows a save and suddenly shit just snowballs.
Yep.
It really does happen that way. And
in both directions.
Oh yeah, it does. You'll see somebody who has been hitting 160 for their career suddenly go on a 10-game streak where they're hitting 400 with more home runs than they've had in their entire career, and there's no rhyme or reason or explanation for it. It happens.
Look at Kyle Schwarber
it's so
right
much
now.
a mental game for the players.
Right.
Kyle Schwarber's a 200 hitter, 220 hitter, and now they put him in at leadoff. He had an 11 pitch at bat that ended up in a home run. The day or two before, he had a 12 pitch at bat. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's turning his season around. He's starting to produce. His walk rate is up. If that guy hits 270 with 30, that guy's going to be dangerous. He's serviceable in left field. He's not great, but he's serviceable.
Yeah. But you could also try to find another place for him in the infield if you wanted to.
Schwarber, he's the emergency catcher. He was a catcher coming out of college. He won the Johnny Bench Award.
Why did I think that he could play the corners?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
No. The other thing, too, like you were talking about, the guy that just doesn't hit, and then all of a sudden That's the guy where the difference between the NBA and Major League Baseball, I would say, and even really the Super Bowl almost, is that in the World Series, guys like David Freese and David Eckstein and those type of guys can win the MVP.
Cardinals.
Ben Zobrist can win the MVP. Whereas if LeBron James is in the finals, LeBron James is getting that MVP.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard's winning the MVP.
Yeah,
If he
you
wins, Steph
can't
Curry's winning the MVP if the Warriors win.
Yeah.
You can't make the whole team flow through one guy.
Right.
It
Yeah.
really takes an entire full team, top to bottom, 1 through 9, 1 through 10 if you're in the American League, just to make the shit work. And it's amazing as much pop as you have in a lineup. Like when the Royals won the World Series in 2015, it was the bullpen. That was the key to their victory because they weren't a potent offense. But if they could have the lead by the 6th inning, game over.
It was done.
I mean, that was the closest I've ever seen to a sure thing in baseball.
Pretty much.
What was their record? Like 80-something and like 1 when they were leading after the 6th inning?
I don't know,
It
but
was
between those
stupid.
three guys for the year, they had an ERA of well under 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Between the three of them, averaged out.
Absolutely.
Wade Davis was, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It was almost like he would purposely load the bases with nobody out just to go, yeah, watch this now. Watch me get out of this shit. And he would every time. I never worried when he went in. Now a Royals bullpen guy goes in, and it's like, oh, there's the fucking game.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how the Cardinals are right now.
They're awful.
Yeah, I mean, literally, we have to score maybe 6 to 7 runs in order to win a game. That's what I feel like anyway. And even going to the 9th inning when it's like 7-3, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous they're going to walk the bases loaded and serve up a fucking cock shot and get rocked out of the park and tie the ball game. We end up losing in extra innings. Like, that's how I feel right now.
Right. And what's amazing is how much that's changed. Like, I've watched that 85 World Series with the Royals where they just beat the shit out of the Cardinals.
Thanks, man.
But I mean, it was a 7-game series, and even in the games they lost, the starters finished the game. One time they brought in Dan Quisenberry, their closer. That was the only time they brought in a relief pitcher in a 7-game series. So that's something in the last 30 years or so that has really, really changed fundamentally in the game. Is the use of that bullpen and the importance of the bullpen.
And the other thing I want to point out to that is that that's what makes the game so great, is that there's not a time clock. There's not a clock that's involved with this game.
There ought to be. We ought to speed some shit up.
Fuck. Please don't. Please don't. Make it this game is the best game, in my opinion, ever because there is no time clock. You have a chance up until the last out to score 11 runs, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you. You get the same amount of opportunities as the other team gets. It's legitimately the most fair game I can think of, in my opinion. So
Maybe, you can't play keep away from the other team. You can't.
that pisses me off.
So
It's a strategy, though. If your team lost a game that they could have run the clock out, I mean,
Oh, no. I fucking hate watching soccer when they do that shit. They got 15 minutes left to go.
you
before
never know how
full-time.
much time's left in soccer with that stoppage time
I can't
bullshit.
watch soccer.
Fuck that.
I fucking
and that
can't
clock
watch
goes
soccer.
the wrong goddamn direction.
Yes. It
Fuck that.
counts up and doesn't count down. That's bullshit. Then you get extra time and shit.
Like there's something to look forward to. The only thing you have to look forward to is there's going to be the end of a soccer game.
Exactly.
That's the best thing you could ever have is a soccer game to be done with.
Anyways,
So
It's going to be a tie.
please start talking more baseball before I pull my hair out.
I looked that up. May 5th, they went from May 5th, 2014 to August 13th of 2015, 111 straight games leading after the 6th inning that they won.
That's fucking nuts.
111 games in a row that once it got to the 6th, if they had to lead, you could pretty much just fucking up and go. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I mean, it is still on the rest of the team. You've got to have that lead.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
But I believe the Royals, they had like a 750 winning percentage during that streak where if they scored 4 runs or more in a game, they won.
That's nuts. God, I wish I had that.
And they had a lot of comeback wins that year,
Yes,
too. You could never count that team
The
out.
team was, that was the most resilient bunch of assholes I ever fucking saw.
Yeah.
And the team, what I really loved about it is that the whole team was built around defense.
And speed.
Speed and defense, and it's so much more exciting than watching home runs. Watching stolen bases, watching guys beat out bunts, watching diving plays in the outfield.
What killed me, though, what I didn't understand
Very exciting.
was in 14 when they went, and they lost to the Giants in 7, they completely abandoned the stealing. They got completely away from the run game, that whole World Series.
Yeah, the pitchers were pulling some fuckery as far as holding them on base, doing a lot of slide stepping, quick pitching. But, the fact was it wouldn't have mattered because they just weren't getting a bat on the ball with Bumgarner. It didn't help that he was getting every call, but they sure weren't helping themselves either. They were swinging at whatever.
Yeah, I was at game 1, and it was just, they lost, I think, 1-0. I
Right.
think game 1.
Yeah.
They had, I believe, a 3-2 lead or 2-1 lead off of whoever started that game. Bumgarner came in relief. I remember,
Shut it down.
And there was no way he was coming out.
Yeah, I remember that Game 7. They ended up losing, and they had a chance to win it if it was a play at the plate. If I remember,
He didn't go. He would have been hosed.
That's right.
yeah,
That's right. That's right.
He would have been.
I
hosed.
remember that.
I think it was Brandon Belt that threw the.
If there was a bad throw, all it would have done was tie the game.
Right. That's right.
And Bumgarner's still pitching, but so the odds of you scoring another run aren't very good.
Right.
But yeah, he had a solid triple that with a bad throw could have been an inside the Parker, but you got. I don't understand why you had Salvador Perez coming up next, who was obviously just limping and hurt anybody else.
Right.
It was hurting him to swing the bat, and that was very obvious. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why you had several guys on the bench who would have been a better choice at that point to put into bat. And he popped up, foul ball to Panda, and it was over. But nobody really expected us to be here. I had all but counted him out in the wild card game.
Yeah.
That was maybe the best game I've ever seen.
I got real drunk that game. Speaking of Bumgarner,
God, that's great.
the Muncy,
Max Muncy.
yeah, Max Muncy's home run.
So Max Muncy steps up, hits a bomb into McCovey Cove in San Francisco, and as he was rounding first, he was staring.
watched the
He
ball.
watched the ball, and he held onto the bat as he kind of started his trot. I don't know if he did a bat flip or anything like that, but he stared it down as it was going into McCovey Cove, right? And that's a feat all in itself, hitting it into McCovey Cove. It's a little bit difficult. It's not easy. There's not a lot of guys that do that. And
I do it all the time.
well, whatever.
I don't do it from inside the stadium, but I do it all the time.
Correct.
Every time I go to McCovey Cove.
And Bumgarner gets all pissed and bent out of shape because the guy fucking smashed it. Smashed it out of the park, and he wanted to look at it. I'm not going to lie, I'd probably do the same shit. Yeah. And he gets all pissed off and yells at Muncy and basically says, quit looking at it, or something along those lines. And Muncy, I guess, made the comment back to Bumgarner and said, if he doesn't want me to watch the ball, go and get it out of the ocean, which I thought was great. First of all, I can't stand the San Francisco Giants any further than I can pick any of them up and throw those assholes. But
You could probably toss Lincecum back in the day.
Maybe. He was fucking itty bitty. Mm-hmm. But I just, pitchers like that have that attitude. Now, granted, it's Madison Bumgarner, who's one of the better pitchers in the majors.
Not this year.
Not this year, though. So if you come out and you have that kind of attitude towards a player that fucking rocks you, you need to have a different attitude and don't. You shut the fuck up because you need to reestablish something else in your head rather than being all pissed off at a guy watching a ball that he just fucking rocked off of you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a real easy way to avoid them not shelling you. Mm-hmm. Pitch better.
Exactly.
But Bumgarner
Thank you, Popovich.
Bumgarner has always been a fuck you pitcher.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's always had fuck you stuff too. And that's really, it hurts his pride more than anything.
Sure.
And when he yells at the other guy, he's probably more pissed off at himself.
Sure.
Than anything. But, he's one of those guys that you just don't fuck with. I mean, he's not afraid to go. He'll fucking throw punches.
Okay.
Well, you better learn how to fight with a name like Madison.
Yeah.
Right. Maddie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he can throw shit at you 100 miles an hour. And
well,
that tends to deter people.
And he can crush too. He's got a great bat too.
Yeah, he's hit several home runs.
Yeah, several.
But
dozens.
Yeah, like more than I have.
More than a dozen. Yeah.
But the mentality of the game is so much a part of it. Having confidence in your stuff and in yourself, and having that mentality of toughness.
Yeah.
That's apparently what he's thrived on up till now, so I wouldn't expect that part of him to change just because he's getting shelled. Yeah, later on he needs to go, okay, what did we do wrong here?
Yeah, and I guess
put it right over the plate.
I guess that's my point. As opposed to, and now granted, his persona and attitude and stuff like that he's coming at, Muncie and stuff like that, I'm sure he's probably got a lot of bottled up anger because he's getting his ass kicked throughout this season so far.
Well, it's not an even year.
Yeah.
They're only good on even years.
Correct.
So.
Well, it's just like in basketball. It's one thing to dunk on somebody, which I know all about.
I used to dunk on Jeremy like a motherfucker.
It's another
With
thing.
your dunkaroos?
But it's another thing when somebody dunks and hangs on the rim. That's you're showing it in the other guy's face.
Sure.
And they don't like that, and that's a way that fights a lot of times. There's competition going on.
Sure.
These are professional athletes with a lot of pride. Yes, they're not there because they're pussies.
Yeah.
And so, I realize he's got
Kickers
nobody
are
to
there
be
'cause
mad
they're
at but
pussies.
himself. But, it's the whole showing it in my face. I'm not going to take that shit. That's
Okay. Who was it last week that was a pitcher for the Dodgers that said, don't look at me, go sit the fuck down?
Bueller. I think
Okay.
it was Walker
Drysdale. Don Drysdale.
Bueller. Walker Bueller.
Walker Bueller. Okay, so I think in that particular point, he has a reason to say that. Like, don't look at me. I fucking beat you at this point. And that's why I kind of have the negative reaction to Bumgarner is, dude, you just got crushed. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I'm not saying he's right. I'm saying
no,
his
I'm
own
not saying
ego
you are.
won't allow him to be quiet about it.
No, what I'm saying is like the reaction of the actual play as a smart, intelligent human being. Why do you feel that you have the balls to say that after you just got waxed?
Because if push comes to shove, he'll beat the shit out of you. That's why. I mean,
Okay.
that is
Makes
his
sense.
mentality. Whether or not he can or can't beat somebody up, he believes he can.
Sure.
And plus he wants to get in his head for next time.
Possibly.
Don't try that shit again.
I'll brush him
This
off.
next one might be coming at your head.
Yeah, high and tight fastball.
Sure.
So that's what I'd give him. But
My favorite thing over the Dodgers Giants series this weekend was Lou Seal.
all right, tell me about this. I don't know about
Okay,
this.
that's the name of the Giants mascot is Lou
Oh,
Seal.
yeah.
Okay.
And I guess there was a fan that was fucking with him, and so he's got like a backwards hat or catcher's helmet or something that he wears, and underneath his helmet he'd written a note to this fan, and that's what he was gonna do with it. And Jacob Turner was sitting there screwing with him, and he bounced a ball off his head, off the mascot's head. So the mascot gets his attention and takes his hat off and shows him a note that he'd written under the hat that said, "How did the last 2 World Series work out for you?" And I guess Jacob Turner shot him fucking daggers, like pissed. And then he put that. I'm like, I think that's fucking great.
I think it's fucking great too.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it's-
guessing it was pre-planned.
No, it was for a fan though. It wasn't for Jacob Turner.
Oh, well, okay. Well, but, if the fucking player is going to get angry at the guy in the big stuffed suit
Yeah.
that looks like he's from McDonald land, I mean, you got other shit to worry about.
Sure.
They're
Take a
just.
joke.
It seems to me they're just awful sensitive right now.
They sure
I mean, you had
are.
Walker Bueller with the Dodgers, sit the fuck down, and then you had Bumgarner with the Giants getting pissed, and then Jacob Turner with the daggers at the mascot over a fucking note. Like,
Right. Well, I mean,
fucking relax, guys.
there's a famous video of Tommy Lasorda beating the shit out of a mascot at one point.
I remember that.
But that was staged. I mean, he was in on the joke.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There was a
thought it was
video.
real.
There was a video of Pedro Martinez beating up a mascot.
I remember
Or
that.
No, wait, that was Don Zimmer. Never mind. I thought
No,
Don
that
Zimmer was a mascot.
I'm sorry. I thought that. Oh God, who was the head coach for the Yankees that was at third base?
That was Don Zimmer.
That was
That's
Don Zimmer.
That's what I'm
Okay.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
He
not
looked
a
like
mascot.
he looked like a
He's
mascot.
fat as fuck and kind of looked like a mascot. Yeah, you're right.
When Bill Parcells had the Dallas mascot kicked out,
No, I don't
thrown
know
off
about
the
that.
field because he was interfering with shit players were doing when he was trying to talk to him, and he got pissed off at the mascot and had him thrown off the field, like for real.
Why is everybody so goddamn sensitive?
That's
Well,
what I
that
just
was
said.
that was
Jeez.
10 years ago,
I know.
and it's Bill Parcells.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a sense of humor.
No,
No.
no,
He's
he went to
bland.
school at Wichita
He's
State.
still trying to get
Wichita
that last
University.
Infinity Stone with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Speaking of sense of humor, have you ever heard of Kawhi Leonard's laugh?
No.
Oh, dear God. It's fucking funny. Listeners out there, if you got 5 to 10 seconds, just YouTube Kawhi's Leonard laugh.
Kawhi's Leonard.
It sounds terrible. It's awful. But speaking of sense of humor, he has none.
You ever heard Yakov Smirnov's laugh?
I saw him once when I was a kid, and it's been a long time. But
It's not at all what I asked.
Is that the guy that named the vodka off after
No,
Smirnoff?
no, he actually named himself after the vodka. That's a stage. Smirnoff is his stage name. That he's like, there's a lot of free advertising around here. When he came to the United States because he's from the Soviet Union,
Right.
But yeah, his laugh, his legitimate laugh, is like a.
mine's not a whole lot better, kids.
Jimmy Carr,
Better
too.
than that, but I'll agree,
Okay.
it's not good.
No.
Jimmy Carr's as well. The British comedian.
Do I know him? I don't know him.
I mean, do I know his laugh?
If you heard it, you would.
I'm sure it's pompous and arrogant.
It's
He's British.
it sounds like it almost sounds fake, but I don't think it's fake.
Part of me thinks
it's not fake like my orgasms are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they make whoever you're fucking happy.
Oh, it's myself. I'm just not as good at it as I used to be.
Yeah.
Or I've gotten real good at it. I'm not sure.
I don't know. All right, so that's it for baseball. Quick touch up. I guess the NHL playoffs are still going on.
Yep. Game 7.
Game 7 Wednesday night, and it is in Boston. So St. Louis, come on.
That's what I'm saying.
I hope so. I just don't want another Bruins NHL title.
Boston has enough, don't they?
Well,
They've got plenty.
it gives them a World Series, Super Bowl, and it'll give them the
in
NHL
same fucking year.
all in the same year.
Oh God, that just hit me.
That's the last thing you want people with that accent fucking boasting about.
Oh Jesus, I can hear it now.
Yeah.
Oh, the fucking Bo Sox won again, and then the Bruins, and then
Yep.
fuck.
That's exactly it.
We need to get Dan
The
the man.
Pats, man. The Pats are fucking good.
Yeah, we need to get Dan
Wicked
the man
good.
in here.
Wicked good,
He's
that's
from
right.
Massachusetts, and he can actually do the accent. He actually scolds. He scolds
Scotty
most
can't.
people. No, Scotty can't do a lot of things.
Thanks.
Scotty
including-
don't.
Scotty don't.
But yeah, he's good at it.
I didn't even put that together. That sucks.
Yeah, that's the last thing you fucking want.
That really, really is.
I think the only thing worse than that would be the New York winning everything.
Well,
I'm gonna just say what we're all thinking. If they win that Stanley Cup, that would be worse than AIDS.
I don't know. You can cure AIDS now. You can't cure a Boston fan.
That's true.
So-
Boston fans are a million times worse than 9/11.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where we're at.
Yep. So I don't know. I would much rather take AIDS over Boston winning every championship this year. That's just me.
Sure. Look how long Magic Johnson survived. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's like having a chest cold.
Exactly. And he's
got a little
fine.
case of AIDS.
It's fine.
Charlie Sheen seems to be fine.
Yeah.
Just go down
Take
to
2 of these
Mexico.
and call me in the morning.
Sure.
Right. So, yeah, and get fired from the Lakers, but
the
you still get
best.
to own them for a little bit.
Best South Park episode ever was that he gets AIDS and he's like, "Oh, you have AIDS? How retro."
Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right. Moving on. No more NHL. Carson Wentz for the NFL. He gets a 4-year contract extension all the way to 2024 for 128 mil, 107 mil guaranteed. What do you think about that, gentlemen? It's football season's coming right around the corner. We got fantasy football coming up. I'm really excited. That's going to be...
I've never seen somebody so excited to take 8th place.
Shut the fuck up.
That's just
You're a dick.
it'll be a step up from last year, I guess.
I just know who's
No.
going to win, and so I don't even get excited about it anymore. I know what happens. 100%
I'm going to smoke
winner.
both of you this year. Smoke all of you.
You talk about poll. You going poll first?
No.
Scotty, why do you got to get gross with this? We're talking sports here. You're talking sucking dick.
No. I'm going to beat both of you in fantasy football.
Off. Beat both of us off.
You're gonna beat us with your mouth,
Yeah. Straight the fuck off.
right? Just beat the hell out of our dicks with your tongue and throat.
No.
And I'm telling you, no thanks.
Okay, good.
It was really weird because I was hanging out with Scotty last week and we rode together and he was like, "Hey man, you want some Roadhead?" And I was like, "Dude, you're fucking driving." Like it was the weirdest thing, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I kind of grabbed the wheel.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you got cruise control and there's nobody in front of you.
Yeah.
Have I told you how much I hate both of you assholes?
Yes. And
Okay, good.
We don't listen. No, it's not we don't listen. We don't care.
Yeah, I think that's more or less what it
yes.
is. All right.
Have I mentioned you ruined the show?
Yes, you have
Okay,
multiple times. So what do you think about this deal? What do you think about this deal for the Eagles? I have my opinion, but what do you think? Especially after losing
I
Nick
think
Foles.
your opinion doesn't mean shit.
I'm going to throw something at you.
That's a
you
lot
fucking
of
prick.
that's a lot of money to spend on somebody who can't seem to stay healthy.
That's exactly what I think, Jeremy. Mr. Jeremy Joseph. What do you think over
I don't
there,
think
Derek?
the Eagles know what they have in him yet.
I don't either.
Yeah, that's why I might have, because I think they had an option on Foles.
I do too.
And I might have extended that option one more year and seen if you could keep Wentz healthy for the whole season.
Right.
Like I said, when they made that whole decision, right, and they traded Foles away or let him go, they just released him. They didn't trade him, they just released him.
I think they did him right.
They did
him right.
him the right way, but that's the GM hedging his job on Carson Wentz. And they better hope he stays healthy, or I know they drafted a quarterback in the 5th round out of Northwestern this year.
Sure.
And they've got Cody Kessler and Nate Sudfeld is third string, and I'm guessing the guy from Northwestern is probably 4th. So they don't have the Nick Foles the rescue this year. So
Right.
Wentz has got to stay on the field. You got to play through shit. Now, granted, you can't play through a fucking broken back, which he had 1 year.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, you're gonna get fucking banged up. If I'm them, you shore that lineup as much as you can.
Yep.
And 2 seasons ago, until he got hurt,
He was great.
top 5 quarterback in the league for
Okay.
certain. But when he came back at the beginning of this season, it just wasn't there.
He didn't look that
seem to
great.
be. Now, I think it would have really helped him to have this full season to
Right.
have gotten back in the swing of things, because that does take a little something out of you when you get hurt.
I'm
You've
sure
gotta
there's
come
some
back.
rust. Yeah.
Sure. And probably there's a little fear that's in the back of your mind of, God damn, I don't want to get hurt again, which tends to make people not maybe take as many chances. And
Shit, I don't know if he was necessarily scared about getting hurt. If he just started playing like shit, then
he
all of a
should have
sudden
been,
he
'cause
lost
he got
his
hurt.
job. I don't know. We said this. I think me and you both, Derek, said this whenever we were talking about what they should do with Nick Foles in Philadelphia. Should you keep Foles or should you get rid of Wentz? And it was close, but I don't know. I don't know. With as I'm gonna look at what they've done for me now, and not what I think they can do for me in the future if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles owner. Nick Foles has taken me to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl against Tom Brady, and Nick Foles has taken us from not even having a snowball's chance in hell making the playoffs to making the playoffs and winning the first game because the Chicago Bears kicker sucks dick.
And they still do. If you've watched what's going on in training camp just recently.
No, I have not heard.
They have 3 kickers. They have Blewett, Fry, and the guy whose name I can't pronounce that they got from the Raiders, like Eddie Pinheiro or something.
Yeah.
And all 3 of them in minicamp are missing that same fucking field goal. All of them. And I think Matt Bryan's
That's
still
great.
sitting at home, and Robbie Gold still wants out of San Fran. He's not going to mandatory camp. He wants out. His family's in Chicago. Make the fucking deal.
Right.
it's a windy city,
Yep.
It's tough to make a field goal there.
Well,
Nobody's been able to do it in the past.
yeah.
Oh, wait, no, shit. They've had plenty who could.
But anyways, what I was saying was I would much rather want to put my team in the hands of somebody who's proven themselves as opposed to somebody that keeps fucking getting hurt. That's kind of where I'm at with it. And you know what? If I strike out, I strike out. But I struck out going with somebody I know that has proven to me that they can be successful in the playoffs and even in the season. Even though he looks like shit every year in the preseason, he somehow turns it around. His team gets behind him. Maybe he's a great leader. whatever it is, he wins ball games at the end of the season that gets you into the fucking playoffs. Period.
Well, he's okay. They traded him, if I'm not mistaken.
They just let him go.
They let him
Did they?
go.
I thought
Yeah.
they retained him with that franchise tag and then traded him.
Nope, they outright let him go.
Okay, well then that doesn't make any sense because I was thinking if you got to trade one or the other, the guy who can't stay healthy is probably not going to get you as much. I don't know that one is necessarily any better of a quarterback than the other. They're when they start the season as the starter, neither one seems to be
doing very well.
But I imagine the coach sees a lot more in practice and all that of. Maybe, I guess, Wentz probably just has something more that he thinks he can work with.
Yeah, I think he's more of a stereotypical quarterback as far as his size, and he's a good pocket passer.
I don't buy into stereotypes, Scotty.
Well,
you should know that about me. I'm very open-minded.
True.
I don't judge.
True.
I don't judge fucking assholes like you. With horrible, dumbass jerseys. That don't make
It's a
any
fucking great
goddamn
jersey.
sense.
It's a great jersey.
They're not the North.
We the North.
Yeah, it doesn't say we the anything. It just says North and 23.
It says Van Vliet on the back.
That means you got to be older than 23 to play here. You got to be north of 23. That's all that tells me.
Whatever. Goddamn it. I love this jersey. I'm proud of it.
It's a fucking puzzle that we shouldn't have to figure out.
Well,
Drake probably designed that fucking thing.
that would suck.
It looks like something he'd do.
Yeah.
It does suck. So I think we can.
It would suck if Drake designed it, but yeah, I'm calling it right now. I do not see Carson Wentz starting every game this year. In fact, I would say, unfortunately, he probably gets hurt before week 8. That's what I'm thinking. I just don't have the confidence in him. That's just my deal.
Okay.
He's got to earn that. I mean, he's got to earn the confidence in the fans. Absolutely. I've been a fan baseball wise. I mean, I'm a Cubs fan, obviously, and I remember all those years with you're waiting on Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor to get healthy, and you're waiting on Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor, and he gets hurt, and then he gets hurt again, and then he's hurt again, and we've done it this last couple of years with Brandon Morrow.
Yeah,
same deal. As soon as he gets healthy, and then a setback, and then a setback, and when you put all your everything in one player like that, and he can't stay healthy, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything more fucking frustrating because you can't be mad at the guy. It's not his fault that he's hurt, but it's they had a solution and now they don't.
Eric Berry.
Yeah.
Very frustrating for Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Very talented guy. Kind of a puss.
Yeah, that's true. There's a little bit more going on in the NFL. You've got mini camps starting up as well.
Yeah, that's where all the midgets play football.
It's like Mini Kiss, only mini football players.
Yeah.
Well, the way that I understand it is it's actually required for the players to actually be there, if I know correctly.
Yeah, that's why I told you because Robbie Gold skipped it.
Yep. And you've got OBJ actually showing up. Or no, not OBJ. It was oh god dang it. AB was actually showing up to practice instead of skipping out on the non-mandatory game or practices.
I thought he was starting shit already, wasn't he?
Oh, he was starting shit, but he's always starting shit. And then you also have Le'Veon Bell, who's now required to show up for practice. And so basically what Jeremy called episodes and episodes and episodes ago, he may be right on the money about cancer being a part of these teams. Now, granted, I don't think that Lev Bell is going to be anything to write home about.
You think he's got cancer?
Maybe.
Probably.
Boy, him and Eric Berry should play on the same team.
Yeah, they should.
He could teach him a lot.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't see him being a very productive running back for the Jets. I just don't.
I don't either.
I think that's where his career is going to go to die. Now with
Emmitt Smith with the Cardinals, that's what I think of.
Yes, right on the money. I agree with you right there. Perfect. But what do you think of Antonio Brown in his situation?
He's screwed too.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what Jordy Nelson did when he went to the Raiders.
Yep.
Granted, Jordy Nelson was one of those guys that could never stay healthy. But when he went to the Raiders and now he's out of football.
Yep.
Brown's going to have, I think, a similar path. I mean, maybe I don't know injury-wise if he'll have the similar path, but
Yeah,
That's
he stays
another
healthy.
story that
Randy Moss is another one. Remember when Randy Moss went to the Raiders and
Yep.
Kerry Collins was throwing to him and it was fucking awful, and then he went to the Patriots and had a record-setting touchdown season.
and they picked him up from the Raiders for next to nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody thought, he's all washed
Amari
up.
Cooper left the Raiders last year, goes to the Cowboys, and actually does okay, better than what he was in Oakland.
I think if Tom Brady's still around in 2 years, you will see Antonio Brown and Tom Brady both in New England.
Fuck me.
I think that it's going to be that type of deal, and they're going to he's going to go to New England for nothing because he's not going to produce in Oakland, and they're going to get what they can out of him. That would not surprise me.
And Tom Brady's arm is going to fall off.
Yes.
Exactly. Oh God, did you see them getting their rings?
No.
Their big fucking
They didn't even invite me.
gaudy 6 championships rings. Fuck.
At least the Steelers aren't the only one with 6 now.
That's true.
And at least it's not the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm tired of seeing them win. I want somebody new. I want the Bears. I
that's
want
what
the
I'm talking
Chiefs.
about.
I want the Rams. I want the Browns. I don't care. Name me a fucking team in the NFL that can beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl or in their conference championship game. I don't give a fuck who it is in the Super Bowl as long as it's not New England.
I'm going old school with
Don't
the
give a fuck.
Baltimore Colts.
Right. Get that team, put them together, change their name from the Ravens to the Colts, and make it the fuck happen. I don't give a shit. Just no more Patriots winning the fucking Super Bowl. I'm tired of it.
Give them 7.
No. No.
Yeah, why not?
I don't care if it's the
Hard
Steelers.
line. Yeah, maybe one more. Sure, why not? One more go
No.
around.
No.
One more time for the boys. Come
We
on,
just talked about how we're all pissed off, or how me and you were pissed
No,
off.
you
at
were talking about
Boston.
it. We're-
Boston is winning every championship this year, and now you're just like, why not? Give him another one. Fuck it. Ass clown.
You think that the victories are coming from those Boston Strong bracelets still?
I don't
A lot
know.
of power in those.
I think they're coming from Boston baked beans.
Probably.
I think
A lot of
they're coming-
protein.
Yeah.
A lot of energy in
Propelling
those.
their ass straight into the end zone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That reminded me, though, of another story that I read this weekend, and I'm not sure just how much truth to this, but Jordy Nelson has said that he would consider coming out of retirement if he could sign with the Chiefs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You think they should do it?
They need a receiver.
Pretty bad.
They're down one. I don't know that, a washed-up mid-30s white guy is necessarily what you need to replace Tyreek Hill.
Oh.
But
He got acquitted again,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, yeah.
and he's not cut. I wouldn't be surprised. He may suit up for Kansas City.
I don't think so. Here's what gets me is, I had said when we've talked about this before that, I'm still waiting to hear from him and his camp. It's been a long time, and I really haven't heard anything from him in his camp, which, most players kind of know coming into the league. Typically, the league, they give you one strike, and you go sit out for half a season or whatever, and you let the shit die down, and then you pay your penance, and you come back at a much more discounted rate. But Tyreek Hill is a unique story where he came into the league with a strike already on his record.
Right.
And so
Literally.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
And so the fact that he hasn't been saying anything is, I don't think he was really trying to save his spot on the team so much as he was trying to not get convicted, not trying to implicate himself in anything.
That's a good point.
And so I know that they typically don't, in the offseason, don't cut players, announce that they've cut players until like the camps start up. So I think we're going to hear something. I just really think that he is he brings an energy that they do not want around Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, because that is a huge, huge advantage to have him.
And I'll say this as a Chiefs fan, I don't want him on the team.
I know. I know
really
you don't. Yeah, but they want to
I
get
realize you
past
got to
Brady.
win, but you compromise your integrity that much? I don't think you should.
I don't think you should either. It's a tough decision, even if he's acquitted of all charges, even if he's proven innocent. and yada 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 yada. I'm with you. I really don't think that you want him around.
It's one thing to say he didn't do it. It's another thing to not be able to prove him guilty in court.
Yeah, Ray Rice did what he did, and it got caught on film. And even the gal that he hit, who is thinking now is his wife, said she didn't want to press charges, so he didn't even get
I don't
charged.
think he did that. I don't believe that. That seems like a real doctored video.
Doctored video?
I think
Digitally enhanced.
She took a fall. That was kind of a phantom punch where she threw that
Yeah,
fight.
but she didn't. He wasn't convicted of anything. I mean, she dropped all charges of
I
everything.
thought he pled because it's usually not up to the victim in a domestic.
Oh,
case.
you know what? I think you're right. You're probably right. I'm sorry, but the
Apology
thing,
accepted.
Yeah. I guess the point I'm trying to say is that it's still in the back of people's minds. I was very shocked when Michael Vick came back after going to jail for what he did and then being able to play again and people still rallying around him. But I think he also did a couple of things off the field to try and help that. But
Yeah, he got another dog.
Yeah.
Did
Now, see, with him, I'm a little different on my feelings to that. I hate dogfighting. I think wasn't it more his cousin was doing the dogfighting at a home owned by Michael Vick?
Yeah, something like that. But
And
I think he knew.
he
though.
knew it was going on though.
But he went to prison and paid his debt to society.
Yep.
Sure.
Why shouldn't he be allowed to work?
Oh no,
I don't disagree with you at all on that.
It's not that. He should definitely be allowed to work. I'm surprised at the fan base that gathered around him and supported him even afterwards. And he did everything right. He apologized for it, and he did everything that he could to try to go the other direction, try to help dogs in need and stuff like that. So
Yeah, Ron Mexico too, same guy.
who
Ron Mexico.
the fuck's that?
You never heard about that?
No.
He went into an STD clinic. It was Michael Vick. And went into an STD clinic and gave the name Ron Mexico. And he tested positive. But yeah, so like right after that broke, they were trying, the NFL ended up having to put a stop on all jerseys that were his with number 7 with the name R.Mexico on the back of it.
Are you telling me that Michael Vick is not his real name? This is shocking. Breaking news right here. You heard it on Unfiltered Sportscast right here, folks.
That is fucking great. That
You've
made
never
my
heard
night.
that?
No, never,
Oh, yeah.
never ever knew that. That's fucking
See
great.
if I can find it here.
See if you can fucking buy a jersey that Ron
That's
Mexico.
that's a better name than Carlos Danger.
Right?
I thought that was the best one ever.
Oh Lord, please be.
Oh, I hope this is true.
I do too.
I hope he has an STD. That's why I want it to be true.
And I
don't.
hope it's
It is.
nationally known.
New York Daily News, from Carlos Danger to Ron Mexico, and look at the best celebrity egos.
That's fucking awesome.
The pseudonym of the former Atlanta Falcons quarterback, currently in prison at that point in time, intentionally gave her a sexual and blah blah blah. Filed by a woman in 2005 who said Vic intentionally gave her an STD. The case was settled out of court, but Vic will forever be associated with the Ron Mexico moniker,
Boy, that puts a whole new spin on the term grudge fucking somebody, doesn't it?
which the lawsuit said he used while seeking treatment for the infection. The NFL was even forced to ban shoppers from creating customized Falcons jerseys with the name Mexico on the back in its online store.
That's so great.
Yeah.
We should try it. We should try it again.
Oh, yeah.
I may buy one.
Get a Virginia Tech one.
Yeah.
That'll probably
There
go
we go.
through.
There we
Mexico.
go. All right, gentlemen. Well, I don't know about you. You guys got anything else you want to go over real quick?
Jeremy has a show.
Yeah, you got a show, Jeremy.
I got a show on the 26th of June.
Yeah.
The night of Too Many Jeremys. It's going to be a live recording. There's going to be 4 Jeremys in this show, which they're right, too many. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hosted by Jeremy Westbrook, comedian out of Oklahoma City, who I don't know, but I hope to get to know. Get him maybe corrected on the spelling of his name. Then there's going to be me. There's going to be Jeremy Ricci, comic out of Manhattan, Kansas. Very funny, great chin, very handsome. And then Jeremy Rush.
There you go.
That's it.
All right.
That's all I got to say about it. No, Jeremy Rush is a good guy. He's a listener to the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Actually, he's a watcher. I believe he gets on YouTube. He just stares at it, turns the sound down, and just looks at us.
Sorry.
He's that kind of guy.
Oh, that's okay.
No, he's a great guy, very funny guy. But those other 2, Jeremy Ricci and Jeremy Rush, are wanting to do live recordings for DVDs and CDs to send out to comedy clubs and shit. So it always helps to have a sold out crowd. So hopefully everybody shows up. One thing that I did find out, if your name is Jeremy, you get in free.
Nuh-uh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's kind of a cool idea.
Well, the manager of the comedy club is not real happy because apparently it got like hashtag to a bunch of like 300 Jeremys. So he's afraid that they're not going to get anything out of it because whatever they get at the door is going to pay the video guy. And he's afraid he's not going to have nothing to pay him because it's going to be all Jeremys in there. But
if you get any chicks named Jeremy, I'm skeptical.
I would be too.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you made a real hard statement with that. I mean, but yes, that is an obvious fact. Yes. But it's going to be a fun show. I'm going to be doing some newer material stuff. People who have heard me maybe haven't heard before. So it's going to get controversial.
Awesome.
I'm going to use the F word. And by that, I mean, fuck.
What about you over there, Derek?
I've got one June 18th. That's next Tuesday.
Okay.
At 7 p.m. at Tiny's Bar and Grill in Mulvane, Kansas. So it'll be me. Aaron Naylor is headlining, who won Wichita's Funniest Person in 2018?
Not this last one, but the
18. 2018, he won Wichita's Funniest Person straight out of Kansas City. So we fucked that one up. It's going to be him headlining with Eli Graves, who is another Wichita's Funniest Person winner. And then Aaron Hahn will be on that show as well. So.
Cool, man. Well, awesome. Well, I don't have any shows. I have a surprise that I'm not gonna talk about today. But next episode, I've got something going on this weekend that nobody's really invited to. But
we didn't want to hear about
you didn't want to hear it. But I'll be able to talk about it. I'm really
I
excited.
feel like we dodged a bullet.
Yeah, you did.
You know
I don't want y'all going.
David Ortiz.
God damn it. Well, anyways, guys, today's episode is sponsored to you by StrikeForceEnergy.com. It's an excellent product.
It's okay.
Fuck you. It's great. Put it into the main vein.
If you had to describe it in one word, Derek, what would you say it tasted like?
Oh, gosh. Onions. Scotty, I don't know what cum tastes like. Would you enlighten me?
I have no idea.
How many versions have you tasted?
I'm waiting on this.
Yeah,
I'm guessing he's had a fine selection, including Nick Foles.
Yeah, I'm guessing like he's had the Neapolitan cum. Like all 3 flavors in one jar.
Every ethnicity, race, creed.
Yeah,
he just has them all.
Nickelback. Anyway, StrikeForceEnergy.com.
Boy, that's a way to fucking break a line of people bragging on you.
Actually, I would say if it tastes like anything, it would taste like freedom.
Freedom. That's exactly right. That's a good one.
I would say freedom.
Yep, freedom.
And
no, not freedom. Freedom.
Freedom. I can't do it.
And oddly enough, freedom tastes a lot like Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Check them out at StrikeForceEnergy.com. They've got 4 flavors. It's an additive you put into a bottle of water, shake it up, and it tastes really good. It has no caffeine. I'm sorry, it has caffeine, but just as much of a regular cup of coffee, no sugar and no calories, so it is a really good product. A lot of my military friends swear by it and have for years, so check them out at StrikeForceEnergy.com.
Yeah, the flavors are grape, original, orange, lemon, and beef bouillon. So
perfect.
Like soup, speaking of onions.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, and of course, freedom.
Freedom. There you go.
They all taste like freedom.
Yeah, every single one of them. Well, guys, appreciate the show. Thank you guys very much. And folks out there listening and watching, do us a favor. Check us out on our Facebook page, which is the Unfiltered Sportscast. We also, this is an announcement, we have a Unfiltered Sportscast group that is now on our Facebook page. I thought it would be really, really nice to be able to allow you guys to join this group and actually share stuff to that group. So that way there's more conversations, more interactions with us, which we can jump on and actually have those conversations. But better yet, you guys can talk to each other, share stuff on the group, and I am basically letting it go whatever you want. It does not have to be sports. It can be inappropriate shit. I don't give a flying fuck.
We're going to get dick pics
all over that
all
thing.
over, and let me say ahead of time, thank you. Scotty can print those out.
Yeah. And put them on the wall behind us.
Sure.
But do check that out. Follow us. That's really important. Like, follow, and join that group so that way we can have conversations about sports or anything that you want to talk about. These guys in their stand-up or whatever you'd like. So do that for us. It is on our Facebook page. It's over on the right-hand side. It's the group, the Unfiltered Sportscast, and I think it's actually Unfiltered Sportscast Community.
In fact, I'll put that out there right now. I can't speak for you guys, but somebody sends us a dick pic, we will print it out, I will autograph it, and send it back to you.
There you go. I'll be damned.
God, I'm glad I don't have a printer.
Neither do I. But also, you can follow us on Twitter at Unfiltered Crew. We are on Instagram, which is the Unfiltered Sportscast. Running out. YouTube, obviously, Unfiltered Sportscast there. So do us a favor, like, follow, and subscribe to us on YouTube. That helps us out a lot. Trying to share this show with anybody that would love to listen to it. We get a lot of compliments, but we want to start growing much faster and get this thing out there. So thank you guys very much who are telling other folks. We really do appreciate it. And that's why we always like to say, if you like us, tell your friends. And if you don't like us,
Tell your enemies.
and until next time, guys,
Take that filter off and make it dirty.
we'll see you. Take care.